Welcome back to The Watch, for the news is often depressing and full of errors.
Yep, but we're not news.
We are not news! So, if you aren't aware, you haven't been familiar with the news before, we purposely put fake news articles in this reaction, because we're not giving you the news, we're reacting to it to have conversation and also with you guys. And just so you can't trust what we're saying, you have to double check what we say. Because guess what? We do sometimes get the odd thing wrong.
Yeah, but the authoritative sources do not.
Oh, yeah.
They are 100% correct, even when they change the events a week later.
Yeah, and so this is just to try and encourage the practice of double checking any source, wherever it comes from. And so we're going to be talking about certain interesting news things.
Yeah.
And but first, anything in local news?
Yes. Oz, from Night's Watch, actually played and enjoyed League of Legends.
Oh,
and
really?
It was so much fun. Serious, I'm not kidding. I swear.
You almost committed suicide when you played Dota.
Yeah, okay, I'm lucky the fall didn't snap my neck. But, okay. By the way, if you want the rope back, you can have it. I played it, and it was a lot of fun.
Wait, what? What's the difference? Look, the thing is though...
That one had Jinx in it.
Yeah, of course.
Jinx is perfect.
So, I'm a Dota 2 player.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is... I'm screwed. And it's like almost like... Well, it's a MOBA. Online multiplayer battle arena, whatever they... Multiplayer online battle arena. It's basically the same as League of Legends.
Yes.
League of Legends has better characters.
And just looks better.
And I'm look, maybe we should do one of our live streams playing League.
It was
I
so
might be
much
downloading it right now as we speak. I played it a few years ago, but...
So you're downloading it now?
Yeah. Well, I think it's done.
Well, when you're done downloading it, make sure you install the downloader, and then you install the installer, and then you install the game thing, and then there's 50 things to install. Seriously, I kid you not. Anyway.
I feel like I'm betraying something.
Oh, that's just the Dota player talking in you.
I know. But I'm also frustrated because you hated Dota when I got you to play it.
Shad, let the past die, okay? Kill it if you have to. Embrace League of Legends.
Maybe this is Oz's gateway drug to Dota.
No, I'm not going to play
Dota.
That sounds like crap.
After playing League and being like, oh, I'm annoyed at these people.
Dota does have better graphics, worse characters. But the thing, because I know the characters, I'm so familiar with so many of the skill sets of the characters in Dota that I love to play what's called ability draft. Anyway,
they have that in League of Legends.
Do they? But you need to know the abilities of so many heroes to be able to do it.
No, it's very intuitive.
Lots of clones. Like I feel like both copy each other with the characters.
It's very intuitive. It's very intuitive, their abilities. And also, in terms of the lore, they have Runeterra completely mapped out for every road in every town. It's insane. So there's tons of lore there.
Yeah, the lore seems better as well. Okay, any local news for you, Nathan?
Honestly, I haven't thought of any. Not really.
I have a local news update for you.
Oh, an update?
Yeah.
What is it?
Shave your friggin' man.
What is that?
I'm seeing if it'll thicken up.
All right, keep going. This is a transitional period. We just have to survive it.
The wife said she'd put up with it for a little while, so I'm pushing it to as long as that goes. But I just want to see if it'll do anything, because like this is as far as I've gotten.
Dude, your mustache looks like my eyebrows.
Your beards, and I'm like,
look at these glorious, masculine beards.
I mean, I shaved everything else because it's all patchy, but like this is like
weird thing, right? I think I could grow a beard when I was young, about your age, back when I was young, right? But it was a bit patchy. I don't know. There is this golden age of manhood I think when you hit 30 to maybe from 30 to 50, whereas this you just start oozing masculinity and the beard can't be contained.
All testosterone,
and it grows.
Yeah. Well, he's in the golden age of 13 to 15 right now.
It's okay. When I'm 60, I'll look 40.
That's true.
That is true.
Oz will look like an old corpse.
Yeah. I'll look like Jabba the Hutt.
Well,
Solo.
Yeah, you already look 40.
Well,
people keep thinking we look like. They think I'm 18. They think you're like nearly 30.
I'm not 30.
We're like the same age.
How old are you?
Months. I'm 24.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
What, you're 24?
No, it's entirely my voice.
You're 24?
I'm 24.
Holy
I
crap.
reckon it's the beard.
It's my voice, it's a beard.
It's so funny, you're the same age as
I have the air of wisdom You know, I have years and years of weight.
That's true.
This is what all the caffeine is doing to you.
I have sounded like this since I was 12 years old.
Sure.
Seriously, I have.
So you're
Yeah,
11,
sure.
and then it just went down.
What do you mean?
Like you're 11 years old, you're like, oh, hi, bitch.
Yes.
And 12th birthday, you were just like,
Yep.
hello, mother.
Father, I have returned. Anyway, yeah, so thank you for joining us, Michael Sarah.
Thank you.
Really, do you know Michael Sarah?
No, I don't.
Check this out.
I feel attacked already.
This is Michael Sarah.
Let me see. How much does it look like?
Yeah, and I know he's from
Arrested
Development.
That's a good show.
Oh, you're right. Maybe it will go.
See, this is the thing. I wouldn't go for it until you could do the full thing. I tried the moustache and thing, and I wish I knew how bad that looked for the several years I wore it in many videos. And it's only until I grew the full thing, I'm like, oh man, this looks so much better. What was I doing?
Maybe it's best to get up early.
Yeah, and just wait until
It's ready.
it all comes in.
Anyway,
But sorry for
It's been intervention.
making you feel wholly insecure then.
It's okay, you're not the first
we
one.
don't want to
You're
put
not
you,
the first one.
we don't want to put you through this. We want to put you through puberty. I'm sorry.
That just died. That was dead on
Yeah, that was
delivery.
dead on
I was, gosh.
Speaking of dead on delivery, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. I won't make that sort of joke. Okay, so well, no. Speaking of dead on delivery, Cowboy Bebop Netflix is Cowboy Big Flop cancelled.
Cancelled. All right, a couple of things, right? So, we were intending to try and review the whole thing, but the first episode was so bad, and now it's cancelled. And so I'm wondering, guys, do you want us to continue reviewing it? I think we should at least do one more episode, but people are saying it really just... It was falling apart on the first episode. If it could fall apart even further, that's amazing.
it
And then people
can.
saying it was, and especially when they introduce Ed into the picture.
See the one with red hair?
He's the kid. Yeah, the kid with red hair. Oh, she is the kid. This is the weird thing.
Well,
she's a she
We
in
don't
the
know
anime?
his pronouns. We don't know. I don't know them, so I'm just gonna back away slowly.
Oh my goodness, what a dumpster fire from start to finish. The
Well-
whole saga of the Cowboy Bebop reboot.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought? Try to make something that was bad. Like, wasn't the defense of the show on one of the... There is a legitimate defense for the
Yeah.
show. It says Cowboy Bebop, is the reboot meaning, it was not meant to be good.
Oh yeah.
That was actually a defense. It's like, who would have thought, if that's the defense for a show, that it would be
Yeah,
cancelled?
and you know the actors coming out and attacking
Attacking
audience and
fans. I mean,
I thought it was a recipe for success, but people didn't like the fact that they were being attacked.
so what else? Do you have any? Because
Yes.
okay.
One of the script coordinators, for some reason, became boastful and gloating about the fact that the show was cancelled.
Gee, I wonder what their intention was. No, their intentions isn't to subvert classic media
Yeah.
and ruin them for agenda-driven reasons. That's not what they're doing at all. How many mask-off moments do we need? Look at this.
Okay.
A script writer. When you talk about where a show is going, the overall quality, it begins with the script. Okay? And this is
There's a few things here, they're really good. Okay. Not to rub it in your faces, but as the individual who has read the Cowboy Bebop season 2 script more than anyone else in the world, F you, you're missing out. Then obviously people responded to that.
Oh yeah. Please tell us what we're missing out on.
So in response to people's responses to her response to the cancellation, she said, "My dear troll friends, you do realise that literally hundreds of people lost their jobs today, right? Yeah, and you're partly responsible. Oh, you lost your job too.
Good work. Good work. And by the way, I don't consider that a defense. Like, get another job. Stop making crap.
Yeah, learn to code.
I mean, and also, by the way, I don't think people who are talented in a field deserve to work in that field, or because
Yeah.
they just end up making crap. Okay, and so look, on an individual basis. Individuals, yes, hope they can support their families and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you don't deserve to support your family if you're not talented to work in the field. Work in
Yeah.
something that you can actually do moderately competently, like
Yeah.
digging ditches, based on how the level of quality we've seen.
And as well, was the season 2 cancelled or was it just not renewed?
Cancelled.
So what,
Okay.
they were going to make a season 2 and then they cancelled
Yeah.
it because of the response?
They cancelled it.
I don't know.
Okay. But either way,
If everyone in the show is referring to it as cancelled, and so is Netflix, you can bet it's cancelled.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, she continues.
But people use it synonymously for not being renewed as well. So
Well, same
yeah,
thing.
because in that industry, you just get used to going from job to job. Like that's your whole job.
Jobs we loved and cared about. We're going to be emotional also. Most, if not all of us, found out today with the public. Sounds like cancelled. Just because you don't like the food at the restaurant doesn't mean you would celebrate when it closes down.
what?
TF.
Of course you would! If the food friggin' sucks!
You wouldn't mock the waiters or chefs. I beg... Wait, no, it gets better. So this is a massive appeal to us to you know, think about how they feel and stuff like that, right? And in the same tweet, I beg of you, touch some grass and give someone you love a hug.
They have no concept of quality. They think someone who is just serving up a turd to you should be thanked for the act of having to push out the turd and put it on a plate.
What was the discussion?
No! If you're serving me a turd, I'm going to be offended that you expect me to eat this crap!
What about the chocolate chip turd discussion we had? Remember that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
agree
no,
with
That
you.
was all the time?
I mean,
Chocolate chip turd. Alright,
I can't. No. We are going to celebrate if a restaurant is just because this is the thing. They think they're making half decent. No, it's actual crap. Okay.
yeah, a little crap.
But you don't see it. We're trying to let you know this is crap.
Yeah.
And part of getting the point through is we're not going to force it down our mouths, you bigots.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally eat the turd, otherwise you're a bigot.
Eat the turd, bigot.
Which makes you a bigot for expecting people to just get on board because my feelings. Bull friggin' crap. No chance in hell.
So she continued, my entire life turned upside down less than 12 hours ago, along with hundreds of my dearest peers. Consider having a GD, God,
Yep.
ounce of compassion and empathy. But wait, I just want to say here, right? My entire life was turned upside down. All this bad stuff has happened. And so you thought the best thing to possibly do would go onto Twitter and go like, ha ha, you guys don't get to see the cool stuff we worked on. Ha ha ha, bigots. Like, what's the reasoning here? There is none. These people are retarded.
And you're obviously really, I don't know exactly the script you worked on or whatever, but what we saw in episode 1, if you contributed to anything of that level of quality writing, you deserve to be fired. You shouldn't have been working on such a big show. You learn to go, no, just learn to write. All right? Get a friggin' job somewhere where you can do something half decent.
But they did.
Don't expect people to hire talentless hacks, and don't expect the viewers, the fan base, to take in crap. And
But Shad, they went to university and learnt to write there.
this is, it's so pathetic.
They had such...
Are these adults or children?
They're children.
This is like, it's really mean to tell a child their drawing sucks. Yes, because they're children.
Yeah.
But if an adult comes to me and tries to present this work of just utter crap as great art,
And want you to pay for it.
get friggin' out of here.
So...
The hubris, the utter... How oblivious they are to reality is astounding. This is like a child chucking a tantrum.
Yep.
Grow up! If you're not mature enough to hack this, you don't deserve to work in the industry.
Yeah.
Not only just because you're talentless, but also because you're nowhere near mature enough to figure out basic ideas of quality. The exchange. I present something good that you want and then I pay for it. No. You thinking just because you worked on it, people must pay for your absolute garbage. I can't believe it. That's not how the world works, you infantile moron.
And don't kick the hornet's nest online so smugly and then expect not to get bitten. But, so you know how she's going on about, 100 people lost their jobs, how dare you, stuff like that. There's a tweet from 2016 where she says, Happy Castle ABC got cancelled. I like the show, don't like the message. That you can continue without your leading ladies.
Of course it is. Utter hypocrite as
Yeah.
well. Gloated when other shows get cancelled. This is literally, it's the meme. Throwing crap over the fence and it finally gets thrown back and they're like, oh, I'm oppressed. You bloody hypocrite.
But
Oh, no, I can't stand these people.
There's more. And here's the part where I get to say I was right. Not about you guys, but towards the comments. So I've been reading the comments, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Oz, you're confusing Stalinism with communism and communism with neoliberalism and all stuff like that." And they've been saying things like, "There's no agenda. It's just like bad writers and stuff like that." where's the connection between woke and communism and the writers and stuff like that? Here it is.
So this is from this writer?
This is from this writer. She says, shout out to my trans comrades in one tweet.
Comrades.
Yes, comrades. All right, and also she based one of the characters that they changed into a trans person who was previously a man or a woman. I can't be sure which one. The character addressed everyone with "What's up, my shonen, jounin, and all you dirty freaks in between," or something like that, which was quoting directly, and she said it quoted a woman called ContraPoints on YouTube from a video that was called "What's Wrong with Capitalism." Who's an avowed socialist, I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah.
So, there is the link. The people who hate capitalism don't make capital for their companies. Who would have thought?
And it's funny, there were some people trying to say that we explained there is a fundamental ideological connection between extremist feminism and communism, Marxism, and also socialism, but it goes full-blown into communism, Marxism. And then we say the fact, and we explained the philosophy was equality of outcome, not equality they want. And then we said, but that's actually a smokescreen for what they really want. They just want to subvert the power structure and put them on top. They were after power. Literally, someone leaked a video under our comments of one of the feminist thought leaders saying, yes, it's about power.
Yeah.
The purpose of feminism is for men to relinquish their power and to give it to women.
Because we need men to be supportive of feminism by relinquishing their power. Because ultimately, feminism is about taking that power away from men.
It's not about equality. They want to subvert who they think are in power and oppressing to put themselves for purpose for what? To oppress the oppressors that they once thought.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, there are a lot of people saying, no, that's just some extremist feminisms. These are some of the feminist thought leaders, okay? And they're serious, literally using Marxist philosophy, communist philosophy, in their fundamental purpose, okay? And then they say, well, that's not how I support feminism. But guess what? Anyone who says, I'm a feminist, these thought leaders, and these extremists are actually the thought leaders of the movement, say, look at all our followers. They're using, and this is where Yuri Bezmenov calls the useful idiots, people who are just going along with the flow because they think this is what is good and society is saying is good, so I'm going to support it, right? Without realizing the true subversive danger of the actual leaders that they're doing. And they think, I can still support this thing and not the extremist stuff, when the extremists are using that support to prop up the extreme destructive side of it.
Can I quickly break down the link between socialism, communism, and Stalinism?
Okay.
Okay, so in his book, Marx said, we'll bring about communism using socialism. All right. So the Soviets picked up socialism, and as Stalin came out and said, "Okay, how do we get to communism? It's not by breaking down the government and having a classless, stateless society. It's by building it up and giving tons more authority." Bit of a contradiction there, right? Openly. So that's where it is. They thought we'll achieve communism by having massive authoritarianism. So that's the three links
and
there.
Look, I get it when people say there is a certain elements to communism that isn't bad when they say it's about sharing things equally.
No, it's not.
Now, the thing is, this is where it goes wrong, right? To implement that on a large scale, in a state scale, the only way to do it is by giving the state full control.
It doesn't work on any level whatsoever.
The thing is, it doesn't work because as soon as you do that, what does power do? Oz, what does power usually?
It consolidates.
But also, power corrupts.
Well, yeah.
And every single time communism has been instituted, are the leaders at the top,
Yes.
are they eating as well as the people on the bottom of the pyramid?
Steak and
everything is equal, sure, right? Yeah. And every time people says, no, we can implement communism, right? Guess what? No, you have to give the state full authority and power, because this is the thing. Most people, or not, look, a lot of people, I don't know the scales, but generally most, will never want to live in your so-called communist utopia. A lot of people like the fact that they can survive on their own merit, that they will, prosper, succeed based on the work that they produce, and that's a good system.
Well, they hear free stuff, Gibbs.
Yeah, but then the lazy people that don't want to work is like, oh, you mean you can take all this stuff off of the people that are working hard and I can get a good portion or all equal? Or, guess who's going to be on board with that? All right? And so to implement communism on a state scale, you have to take away the freedoms of all the people who don't want to buy into that system.
Yeah.
And what frustrates me, right, is that everyone under the current, any capitalist system, right, anyone who wants to live under a communist system can do so willingly and freely of their own
And they
volition.
do all the time. There's communes out there.
And guess what? How well do they prosper?
They don't work at all.
Because guess what? Capitalism, when it comes to just reducing poverty, increasing wealth, prosperity to a nation, is a system that is, I'm not saying it's perfect, but holy crap, is it effective.
It's the worst system we have, but it's the best we've tried so far.
And poverty has been going down on a really fast level in the modern day. Like, seriously, capitalism has reduced poverty overall faster than even some of the most positive predictions, okay?
Yep.
And how well has communism done to reduce poverty?
Well,
all it ends up is taking money away from rich people and making them all equally poor, as poor.
Not even that.
Even
They're
if it tries to balance out, first off, if you restrict productive people from being able to produce more, you're just screwing over your economy.
Further than that, even it literally goes like they would send agents into the most productive areas, and they would go into the bars and they'd talk to the people who lived there, and they'd be like, hey guys, who's making the most here in terms of farming? And they'd go and burn down the most successful farms.
And so what baffles me, everyone who wants to live under communism, right, you are more than free to go live under it right now.
Yep.
Yet under communism, it'll be illegal to try and live under capitalism.
Yep.
So already just the balance is like, one allows for both, one makes it illegal, and we've already seen it instituted historically, they murder the people trying to succeed on their own merit because they have more. They're the elite class, the rich class, because they're working harder, and then
It'll be different when they do it, though.
and so then this is the thing, these people who support these, like extreme feminism, communism, Marxism, and everything, they are black and white. It's overt. Look at this writer, okay?
Yep.
You think there's no connection between the people that are trying to co-opt the culture with, or to say it's a communist subversion, right? When people hear that, I do get the impression that they think Oz is just this conspiracy. Everything's about communism.
Oh, I am.
But
everything is.
You can break down, it's so blatant by a lot of these writers and creators and everything, that they're full on supporting. First you say, no, it's just socialism. What does socialism lead to? Do you not understand? And by the way, I actually support certain socialistic principles. Like, I feel certain welfare programs are very important, all right? And so, look, Australia's healthcare, I have to say it works really, really well.
Well, we are taxed really highly. You felt the brunt of that.
I have felt the brunt. But you know what you could also do to achieve it? Try and make everyone more wealthy at a lower tax rate, and you can still get the revenue to support these systems.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or you could have much more alternatives, and that's why I
would say
ANCAP.
20% of 10 million is a lot higher than 50% of 1 million. And so, how about we just try and make everyone more wealthy? I want the rich to be richer and the poor to become rich. What a great outcome. Instead of the reverse, which is, let's make the rich poorer and then try and make the poor rich, but oh no, we're robbing the rich to make it out and they're reducing people to actually create more wealth.
Well, to be fair, communism does get rid of the 1% and replace it with the 0.001%.
Which is the leaders.
Well, also the police.
Yeah.
The enforcers were some of the wealthiest people because they could literally do whatever they wanted to people for any reason. It was incredible. Anyway, so next bit of news, we'll try to...
Well, hang on. I want to round off on this Cowboy Bebop thing because it really felt like, this is a black and white moment for anyone who has just been tacitly trying to watch what's happening in the world of full-on ideologues, like black and white. They're open. They're not trying to hide this stuff, trying to co-opt a property that was great and literally try and subvert it to promote their message, their ideology, right? The writer has already been open about this, and they desecrate it.
Yep.
They don't. It's not the fact that they are willing to destroy and subvert someone else's work, and they don't care about trying to make it good or pay respect to it. It's all about sending their message. I can't express how vile and disrespectful that is. They're not talented to make their own work, so they try and co-opt someone else. We're seeing this done in the Wheel of Time, in our reviews that are already going. And it's like Cowboy Bebop, in this instance, it's like they're cheering its destruction. But then she's like, oh, we got fire and everything like that. But they were so blatant about making it bad.
Yep.
And they were laughing about making it bad because they're like, oh, it's going to trigger the whatever.
The trolls, the racists.
The trolls, the racists, and all that. When these are just genuine fans.
Yep.
And they are dancing with glee while their own house is burning around them. And when they realize that they're in a burning house and that starts to burn them, they're like, oh, help, I'm oppressed.
Yep.
You infantile absolute morons. You deserve everything you get. Thank goodness it's cancelled so we don't have to see any more of this abomination. And but one thing, there's a different, I don't know, maybe it's because I love Wheel of Time more than like, I love Cowboy Bebop, don't get me wrong, but Wheel of Time holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, who in their right mind was ever taking Cowboy Bebop seriously?
None of them.
But there's a lot of people taking this Wheel of Time adaptation seriously and thinking this is what the books are. And to me, Wheel of Time is having a more subversive effect. And so it's affecting me more, like when I see what's happening. But with Cowboy Bebop, it's like everyone could see how bad it was. Like, who was actually saying this dumpster fire? Like, the most small group of people were saying this new adaptation is... Most people say this is horrible from the get-go. And doesn't even live past its first, or for us, barely its first episode.
So, there was a good YouTuber called It's a Gundam. Have you heard of that guy?
Of course I know it's a Gundam.
He's hilarious. He said about this when I was watching his video. He said, if you want to make something new, if you want to do something new, make something new. Don't just copy someone else and then ruin it with your crappy edits.
They know they're not talented enough to do it. They've tried it.
Yeah.
They've tried to make their own new stuff, and you can see certain examples, like, is it High Guardian Spice is one example of...
What the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly, right? Huge woke feminist group. They own Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll is a redistributor of anime. It's a streaming service that translates.
They seized the means of anime production.
And they tried to make their own anime, and it's just
garbage.
Dumpster fire. And we see, like, video games that, you know, these ideologues have tried to make, and they're horrible. They go nowhere. Yeah. And so they know perfectly well they don't have the talent to make anything popular.
Yeah.
Maybe is that going too far? Because you said, like, Carnival Row was actually good.
Well, my theory is that it was written, and then after it was written, they added in the work stuff. That's my theory.
But most of them, just talentless hacks, and they literally can't make their own stuff, and so they have to co-opt and repurpose other already popular properties, because that's how they'll get their message heard.
Yep.
And then they ruin it because they're talentless. They don't know how to make anything good.
You know what Tolkien said?
Huh.
He said, evil cannot create, it can only corrupt. That which is good was created.
Oh, Tolkien. What a prophet.
And they're going to corrupt everything he wrote, and they're in the process of it now. Alright, let's lean away from the, you know, whole political stuff about authoritarian stuff.
And look, I think this is the thing. I never made this channel for the purpose of being political. It
just happened.
But when we're trying to respond to media, and the creators are literally saying, we are going to make sure this is feminist, or we are going, and when we say, they know what type of feminist they're pushing, it's the extreme subversive kind, because those are the leaders that are, like, what they're learning from, and they literally sometimes say they're full-on Marxist communists.
Yeah.
These are the writers, okay? And this is what I find interesting. When this subversive politics are in media, it barely even comes up. How much did we bring up politics in our review of Arcane? No. Barely any. The only thing that we saw was to comment on the lack of politics in it. Yep. It's like, the fact that Vi was gay didn't matter at all. It was just a brilliantly written show, and it was all a huge praising thing. Yep. And so when we say we only get political in response to the stuff we see, this is the evidence of it. Okay? Yep. But with this one, with the fall of Cowboy Bebop and the creators behind it, and we say there is a connection between what they were trying to, you know, inject into this piece of media and communist subversion, people are like, what are you talking about? So we have to explain how the connection works. And just to justify our position, to show there are some major problems happening. Okay?
Okay, so leading away from politics, they're doing a feminist version of 1984. Now, here's the weird thing, right? They're going to do a feminist version of 1984, but we already live in a feminist version of 1984. Is that odd?
I wouldn't say we're there yet.
We're just going to go around with a video camera, just filming people on the street? But yeah, so...
So hang on, how can people say the political agenda is not, like, there...
Already.
When they're literally saying?
Well, because you see it was a male main character, they don't see it.
This is like I'm trying to say they want to make a remade version of Lord of the Flies, but all female. Like, it didn't go anywhere, but they...
Okay, I'm just sitting there thinking, some feminist writer was like, okay, so the clock struck 13, all of society is oppressed, there's no love, there's no nothing, there's no art, women most affected. You know? That's what you gather from it. But okay, so have you read or watched the movie 1984, either of you?
No, I haven't. I know a lot about it.
Okay, so Winston, the main character, has a love interest,
Yes.
and it's from her perspective. But we kind of already see she talks a lot in that thing. You know, she.
It's
gives her
almost like
perspective.
both men and women are oppressed in the original 1984.
Yeah. Well, I'd say women were oppressed a little bit more,
All
just
right.
slightly more.
Hang on, this is coming from Oz.
Well,
Wow.
because, and like, excuse my language, it's not really a swear, but in the movie and the book, they literally say we're here to eradicate the orgasm. Now, men can have them too, but women, it's a bit different. It's like a water pistol versus a bazooka. Oh, well, not a bazooka, more like a Gatling gun with infinite ammo.
Your analogies are always just so descriptive. Very,
Yeah.
very, what's the word? When words make you see things in your head.
So a feminist version, 1984. Yeah, they're not trying to overtake society. They're not trying. And
What, a feminist version of 1984?
the thing is-
what, where the women are in power?
like, what is that going to look like? I actually, if this is just going to be another mask-off moment, because are they going to try and depict their feminist utopia through that adaptation? Yeah. And are they just going to reveal like what they really want in society? If that's going to be the case, go to town.
I have a theory.
Don't stop.
I have a theory. Their version of 1984 will be the complete inversion of how 1984 is presented, but just as bad, if not worse. To live
It
in.
might be only men in power, oppressing all women.
What I mean, right, is that like their version, like if you were to do 1984, but the government was woke, it would be the exact opposite to actual 1984, but just as bad to live in. Just as bad. Anyway. So yeah, that's one thing we have to look forward to. Michael Jackson has returned from the grave, and he said he saw fire. He shared some information about his conversations with Epstein. Turns out he actually doesn't remember killing himself. He said the night was very strange. It was very black. All the lights went off suddenly like that.
Yeah.
The little light on the camera that said recording turned off. It was really odd. Anyway, he also said that he himself was murdered, Michael Jackson, that it wasn't overdose. He said he was murdered. He said, I was struck
You
by
got
a
it in his
smooth...
voice.
In his voice. Go on.
I was struck by a smooth criminal.
Was there a
You did that well.
Gosh.
So, by also accounts, he's getting along really well with Epstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent work.
Oh boy, maybe we do need to cut that. That's
If we don't want to get murdered.
yeah. We're dealing with some forces at
Force
work
of the
there.
darkness, yeah. That's
All right. Well, if Tim Pool and Alex Jones and Joe Rogan can talk about it. All right. Halo.
Oh, good. Thank you, go. So excited.
Halo. TV show trailer was released.
Oh.
And it looks like garbage because it looks exactly the same as Wheel of Time. It looks like dead set dressing, no color whatsoever. Well, apart from the actors, and they are wokeifying it. Yep. Two main characters from the original, from the first game and from follow-on games: Captain Jacob Keyes and his daughter, both white characters, both in the military. They're changing the girl to she's a doctor now, and they're both black. Like, they had a black character that was awesome, and they could have made the whole show about him, Sergeant Avery Johnson. He would be cool.
So good.
He was so cool. And they could have I would have been happy if they made the whole show about him. Screw Master Chief. He can be like a returning character. If they did a whole show about Sergeant Avery Johnson, I would have loved it. But no, they have to change everyone's race. When, are we going to get an Asian Sergeant Avery Johnson played by Ken Jeong? No, we won't.
So, couple of things, okay? We've already explained, but people new to Night's Watch might not be aware of it, okay? There are times when changing the race of a character we have no issue with, and it works really well. We give the examples again. Michael Clark Duncan,
We
Nick
didn't care about
Fury.
Perrin.
What?
We didn't care about Perrin.
And yeah, Perrin, I think, like, what matters most is the actor encapsulating the role, the character, okay? And sometimes you can find a character that encapsulates it so well, the difference of race doesn't matter. They're that character. That's the point, all right? But if it's clear that that hasn't been the intentional goal in a change like this, it now becomes a canary in a coal mine. This is a warning sign of the opinions, agendas, ideology of the people behind this show. And look, I agree, it was a warning sign with Wheel of Time. I guess I'm getting more jaded because of what happened with Wheel of Time.
Yeah, but I know how you feel.
But I wanted to give Wheel of Time every benefit of the doubt, because sometimes, even if they have these small little, woke things that they put in, it can still be a great show.
Yeah.
Look, if it's good, we'll acknowledge it when it's good. But if this is their priority, first and foremost, making good show as second.
In the trailer, that was it though. It was just all seeing all the people of color in the trailer, and at the very end it's Master Chief and then Halo.
So they're not, there's nothing good about the show. Nothing interesting in plot.
What was it to yours? Oh no, because it's also on Paramount Plus. That's how you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Another streaming service.
Streaming service. That was good. But it's this is a show about shooting at aliens, right? Mm-hmm. And being afraid of anything. And there's none of that in the trailer. But also, fundamentally, they don't understand the story. Because they show there's the humans and there's the Covenant, which is a group of alien species that come together to work together. And they hate humanity. They think that we need to be destroyed by the will of their gods. And in this show, they have a human member of the Covenant. But that's literally, you don't do that. The aliens hate us so much, they religiously glass our planets. And they're just human, and it is a person of colour, by the way. And, so we have our own Valda. The guy that took over Halo, even the guys that he used to work for hated him. They said this about him: Frankie joined Bungie late in development of Halo 2 and gets to take credit for all kinds of talent and genius that he contributed little or nothing to, which is totally awesome. He lives in Seattle with his wife, cat, and cat allergies. Even the people he worked with had contempt for him, and Microsoft gave him the franchise, and he changed everything. Skin suit, just skin suit. Anyway, so that's my little Halo segment.
I love it. You're I'm seeing the passion in you that I have when I'm upset.
Because I understand. We understand each other.
So heartbreaking. It's just we're seeing people burn down things that are wonderful, wholesome, and great, and laughing while they're doing it, thinking that they're doing something virtuous.
And when the roof starts to get crumbly above them, they're like, "Oh no!
I'm oppressed.
I can't believe the Nazis set this house on fire! Idiots!" Oh man! All right.
Well, that is some massive. That's beyond red flags. That's not even smelling the smoke. That's seeing the bonfire in the distance.
Yeah.
This is oh boy, brace yourself. But guess what? We'll chuck the helmet on and grab the swords early, and
you have to review it.
We will.
If it's just me, it's just me.
But no, I'm there with you.
You're there with me? Okay. We got The Witcher as well coming up soon.
Oh gosh.
Which actually isn't horrible.
It isn't. Well,
it's not horrible. It's not that great either.
Witcher is an interesting thing because, made by Netflix, so there is. But it's funny because when you have a mix of semi-talented people but also talentless hacks, the talentless hacks they're so bad that they think they're trying to push a message, and sometimes they legitimately do the reverse.
Like they did in Wheel of Time.
In some instances, not in all.
Well, with the tower and stuff.
Yeah, the tower, yeah. By the way, this will be a follow-up for episode 7, but just to say it now as well, some people are saying, Shad, the White Tower was always corrupt and evil, and not, but they always was dark and everything. That's the point. It wasn't always fully corrupt and evil. The whole plot, one of the major plots in the Wheel of Time, is trying to redeem. There's a power struggle between good and evil in the White Tower, and the people who are trying to fight for the good side. Okay, well. The show at the moment is showing, Siwan as bad as the bad guys in the book.
Yep.
Siwan is the one who's being this authoritative dictator. She should be representing the good side of the Aes Sedai, and she's representing the whole evil and bad.
Yep.
And this is what the show creators think is a good representation of women in power by showing what Siwan did.
Yeah.
It's that's how they think women in power should act, all right? It's a mask-off moment, like I said. showing it. Okay, so back to Witcher, right? There's this. I don't know how this got in the show with the agendas that's behind it, but that's why I think it's a mix between things. There's this actually based underlining plot in it about what women want in life. And look, they spent too much time on what's her face, Yennefer.
Oh, Yennefer, yeah.
I mean, people want to watch Henry Cavill as Geralt kicking butt, and they spend all this time on Yennefer. But there's this really interesting thing where Yennefer, she like her arc. Yes, it's spoilers for if you haven't seen season 1, and it's no big thing because it's an interesting thing where she wants power and she's going for power, and essentially this is a woman going after career and opportunity and stuff. And later, towards the end of her life, she realizes it's all hollow and she wants something good and wholesome and she wants to have a baby.
Yep.
But she gave it up and like that's
she physically can't have a child.
Like that's actually a surprisingly based message because it's actually a reality. Like most women in life want something decent, wholesome that'll last longer than themselves, and they find it in raising children, having their own children. Yeah, and guess what? It is the same for men, all right? But of course, there's this interesting interplay between how people come into the world between men and women, and also women have usually a much stronger connection with the young that they bring into the world, and it is this beautiful thing. Like they sacrifice their bodies, right? And they go through incredible pain, and it's all worthwhile because they get this wonderful little ball of love. And there's this amazing thing when you have this little child in your arms that just, when they're in their arms, they have nothing but complete confidence and security. They trust you 100%, and that feeling that someone, an actual person, could trust you with their whole lives. You're holding them, they can't do anything, they're wholly reliant on you, and they trust you completely, and they have that much security in you and confidence in you and need you. It is one of the most amazing feelings you'll ever have in your life, and I have gotten that with each one of my children. It's amazing. And of course mothers get that massively. My wife she gets so much satisfaction and joy in looking after this little one that she brought into the world. All right, so there is real truth to that, and the world is trying to subvert it. It's like, no, women, give up being a mother. They denigrate the role of the housewife as this thing that you get forced into and subjugated into, when it's actually one of the most noble, satisfying, and uplifting roles that women can find in their lives. Most women, this is the greatest occupation they could ever fill because it gives them the greatest happiness and fulfillment. All right,
women, reject modernity, embrace maternity.
And tradition, okay? Now look, this is the thing. So many say, no, do careers, live for yourself and things like that. And then they come to the end of their lives and they find that they're old, lonely, and depressed.
Yep.
And they got nothing.
And the BuzzFeed writers are finding that out right now.
Like we see countless times again and again. These old women who just went after career have nothing in their lives.
Barely a career left either.
And the problem is that this is the unfortunate reality of biology. Men, when they hit this thing where they want something more in their life, they are still capable of raising a family and producing it, all right? Men's biological clock is still ticking even when we get to 50 years old.
Yep.
And guess what? If they actually have built a career, that usually makes them more attractive to women because they have all this security and stuff. And so this is the unfortunate but true reality. They are nowhere near as much in a difficult position, okay?
Yep.
But women, when they come to that, they have a biological clock, and they find themselves that they can't have their own children anymore. It's heartbreaking. I feel for them, but they also...
They've been lied to.
They've been lied to. They've been lied to and just manipulated into this end, and then they realize they got nothing.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It's sad. I partially feel sorry for them, but not the ones that did it to themselves, that were, yes, queen, let's go.
I feel like they've all been lied to. If they knew the truth, if they could take it back, they would.
But a lot of people are getting lied to by other women.
I know, and I feel sorry for all of them.
And usually, it's unappealing, cruel, black-hearted women who just couldn't get a man anyway, and they don't care about trying to appeal to men, and so sometimes they go in the opposite extreme to actually make themselves look more repulsive to just general beauty standards and stuff.
Oh man, I've seen some things, Shad. I've seen what they do to themselves.
Right? And they become like these extremist feminists because they can't just attract a conventional man to support them. And then they try and say, well, I don't need a man anyway. You're better off without him. And then they try and spread that vile black lie to other women who could, find a great man in their lives.
Yep.
And ruin their lives because misery loves company.
Yep.
That's the underlining message about these sad, bitter, extreme feminists and stuff, that they've ruined their lives because they were just horrible people to begin with and they couldn't get a good man, and so they want other people to join them in their bitterness, and then they want to oppress the oppressor in return. That's the end goal.
What's the recurring theme? Evil can't create.
Right. And so, it's not just women getting fed a lie. There are other women that have become bitter because they were horrible people to begin with.
Yeah. But at the same time, all of them have been lied to.
Yeah.
So I won't go towards their
They do
motivations.
lie to themselves and all that stuff. Because, look, maybe if these horrible people, women who couldn't attract... And this applies to men as well. I'm not saying that, a horrible man who can't attract a woman, that can lead to negative things.
I'm sitting right here, Shad.
We have hope for yours. But they could have tried to make themselves better people, more appealing, okay? And there's, they think... There's this interesting, false beauty standard that media promote, and I don't think men should be vilified for being attracted to attractive women. But at the same token, the reality is most men, their standards aren't nearly as high as the standard the modern media portrays.
Yeah.
Okay. And if men have any brains at all, and especially when they mature, they realize the thing that's most important. Beauty is important. You need to be attracted to your wife, but being attracted to who they are is vastly more important than... And when you get attracted to who they are, they become more beautiful to you physically anyway. It's a beautiful thing.
And for men attracting women, you just need two things. You need to be able to make them laugh. Whether you're funny or not, you need to be able to make them laugh. And you need to be relatively successful enough to be able to support them. Those are the only two things you need. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be creative. You don't need to have too many skills. As long as you can make them laugh and support them, that's all you need.
Well, see, I don't even think it's that cut and dry, but you don't need to be successful to be able to support someone. Well, I mean, it depends on how you gauge success. I think if you're just working hard and you're supporting them, I feel that is a success.
Yeah.
You don't need to be rich, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But men, you will gain tremendous satisfaction in providing and protecting, a family that you could build together with a good woman.
Because that's what we're supposed to do.
Do it. You're there's a juice thing. Yeah, get rid of it. Annoying me.
I could just sit here saying nothing.
It's like you just Oz. You're like this.
Fix your hair, Oz.
Look, Oz. You're enough of a retard as is. We don't need to make you a dribbling retard on top of it.
Let's go get nuggets later. I'll show you a real retard.
And so, I find it amazing that Witcher actually acknowledges that truth. Yennefer wants a child.
Yep.
Which is a true reality of most women in life. Not all women, and if you're the exception, don't say, shut up. We don't care. Most women, all right? Okay, do want.
I'm just like, whoa.
No, it's true. I get annoyed with everyone trying to say the exceptions either disprove the rule or are the truth. No, they're the exceptions.
Yeah.
Most women in life do want children, and they'll get most satisfaction and happiness by having a family. And guess what? To have a family, you do need to enter into a mutual beneficial partnership with a good man, and good men need good women. Work on improving yourself. The more you improve yourself as an individual, the higher chances you will be to be able to find a good person to build a family, build a life together. All right? Fundamental truths of reality, usually subverted in media. I couldn't believe it's in The Witcher. The Witcher is far from good, though. There are lots of problems.
Henry Cavill makes
but
up for
Henry
a lot of it.
Cavill is so enjoyable as Geralt. I could enjoy The Witcher with even how astoundingly bad. Maybe we should actually just review the first episode of season 1 of The Witcher, just to give an example of that.
Oh, there's
it's
too
a
much
mess.
nudity in it.
First episode, no.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
There is the
entire
the
castle
magical
full of naked
illusions.
ladies,
Magical.
To be fair, at least they're honest about what I'd be like if I was a wizard. Kidding.
Well, it's funny, we brought that up in the comparison between Wheel of Time and Game of Thrones. If you're going to throw in pointless nudity...
Yeah. That's what a creepy old wizard would do. You'd be like, oh, naked ladies everywhere.
At least they made him attractive to appeal to someone. Who are they trying to appeal to in Wheel of Time? And it's literally pointless. There's no reason to have it. And it's like,
Well, to be fair, one was written by a gay guy. One was written by Netflix.
And I mean, is it to appeal to middle-aged women to think that, yes, look, be proud of
Notice how...
your bodies.
Look at the main cast of guys. You've got one big bear of a man, which is probably the main writer's favourite. Then you've got two skinny twink fellas. And then you've got Lan, who ripped his shirt open and tweezed his nipples.
But there's no actual really conventionally strong-looking... Perrin, maybe, is the only close one.
Yeah,
really.
he's a big boy. All right.
Maybe.
Oh, did you have anything to say about the Halo thing? Because you saw it too.
I already said that.
All right, what about Witcher? Nothing to say as usual?
Nah.
Okay, bugger
But I
off.
will agree with Shad. Like, my wife has said that if she didn't have to study and have a career for herself, if she could just stay home and have a family, she would. But she hates the fact that in society she doesn't have a choice.
Oh, yeah, things are so expensive.
She has to work.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
provide for her by myself. Because
It's a tough world.
It's odd that productivity has doubled in the past 50 years, yet wages have stayed exactly the same, barely in line with inflation. Isn't that odd? Anyway,
So anyway, season 2 of The Witcher.
coming up soon.
I'm hoping it's better. Like the
too.
bar isn't that hard to pass.
Well, the armour.
And they fixed the armour, the Nilfgaardian
Dick
armour.
armour!
Nilfgaardian armour.
Big black dick armour!
Such an abomination in season 1. And so that at least they got the picture and have tried to... So I'm hoping season 2 will be better. They're going to try and reduce some of the stupid, time jumping weird, dumb stuff in the season 1. I'm interested in, how Ciri, look, if they have any brains, they'll know that Witcher is the selling point. But the thing is, if they can make Ciri a really cool character, we don't see enough of her to actually... She was more just scared girl running away in season 1. If they can make her an interesting character and not make her a Mary Sue, not make her better than Geralt, but make her contributing part, interesting, fun, good to watch, I will be fine with the show spends half the time on Ciri if she's a good character. But if they're just like, Mary Sue, Ciri great, everything great about her, Geralt playing back fiddle, it'll be disaster.
I hope they do a father-daughter dynamic.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That would be great, because they have that in the games.
And
I haven't read the books, though.
I don't know what happens in the book, but it would be, already, just from an outsider's perspective, it would be a great humanizing arc for Geralt to learn to try and be a positive role model to Ciri.
Yeah.
Learn to be a dad, basically.
Yeah.
And that, because the thing is, learning how to be a good dad makes you a better man.
Have you played the games? Like, actually played through the story?
No, I haven't.
So, in the story, Ciri becomes the adopted child, basically, of Yennefer and Geralt.
Oh, is that a spoiler? Should we cut that?
Not really. Everyone's played the games except you.
it's been years now.
But the games are based after the books, aren't they?
After, long after. Yeah. Okay, Star Wars news. Django Smolfett,
Oh, I heard about it. Yeah, because we
the bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter. Yep.
Who was basically an actor for the Empire.
Yep.
Yep. He was found guilty of 5 out of 6 charges of setting up a dude. If it was 6 out of 6, 66, or anyway, order 66, whatever. So he was found guilty 5 out of 6 charges of setting up a fake hate crime. Sorry,
Fake
force crime.
Force crime, yeah, where the Jedi attacked
Where the Jedi attacked him, saying this is Jedi country now.
But found guilty.
Guilty, yeah.
Like, thank goodness, it was so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, who could have believed him when they just break down what happened? It was astounding.
They had all the credits going between accounts.
Yeah, I find it
holograms.
really interesting that all the other, people in the Empire that were trying to support him are suddenly very quiet on the subject.
Really odd.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Really, really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to get any bounty hunting work anymore.
Though,
Hope it was worth it, bud.
what's also baffling is that some of the other people in the galaxy, I think there's a group of bounty hunters that are still supporting him.
Yeah, well, one of...
Like, even after it's found guilty and all the evidence is there, they're still supporting him.
Well, apparently there was... no one knows this. In the extended lore, the Emperor has a wife. So the Emperor's wife, the former Chancellor's wife, actually called by the name of Marcillo Obamane,
Okay.
called the prosecutor and said, make these disappear. Make these charges disappear. And there was a massive investigation about it.
Yeah.
And this prosecutor, who works for the Empire, quit, resigned. As well as, the current Vice Chancellor having a bill against the Jedi going through at the time.
Yep. Yeah. But look,
We
at
sound
least
like
he's
conspiracy
found.
theorists.
Yeah, at least he's found guilty. I wonder if he'll serve time though.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely
Like
not.
in the spice mines of.
Definitely not. No. All right. On more Star Wars news, someone who's found innocent but is yet still being punished versus someone who's found guilty and will never be punished. Kylo Rittenhouse, a Jedi,
Yep.
a Padawan, has been banned from Instagram and has been forced to quit his university because the students protested. Obviously, reason why is because they're woke factories. They're literally little communist creation zones. But at the same time, he's about to go on a suing spree of all of these different places, and he's going to become a 100 millionaire, probably, I hope.
We'll see. We'll see how that. I'll be watching it closely. Also, in Star Wars news, have you heard about the Star Wars hotel?
Oh, I keep seeing things about it, but I just...
Some interest, like...
Yeah, tell me about it.
Gee. So basically, it's like a role-play hotel where you can go to a fake Star Wars space cruiser and stay in like a cabin where it's made like that's supposed to be Star Wars.
Wait a minute though. Any hotel room can be a roleplay hotel if you have the right costumes.
Well, the set is made everything all to look like that. The problem there are some massive the price tag.
How much is it?
I forget. It's like in the thousands. I think it might be 6,000 a night or something.
The only person that can afford to go there to play dress up is George Lucas. You know.
The other issue is that it doesn't look like Star Wars. It could be Star Trek. It could be like generic sci-fi.
Oh, I don't like.
Like they really failed on, and it's like this fancy Starline cruiser thing that you could think is Star Trek. Like I'm a little one. The price is ridiculous. Two, this could have been an incredibly fun thing where you go in, right, and the windows are actually they're screens that show space and stuff.
Yeah.
It's made to be real. Well, they tried to make it immersive, but they had to cut all these things, and so it actually comes off more cheap. Where they haven't put in droids all around and stuff like that. The alien makeup of the people there looks really cheap and stuff, and it's turning out that and they're still charging people an insanely premium amount to go into this Star Wars hotel, and it's looked like they've cheaped out and missed the mark on how it looks and things like that, and it's coming off looking really bad. And it turns out that a lot of people who perhaps had bookings for it have cancelled their bookings. They're coming out saying rooms are still available, get in now, and no one's having a bar of it, and Disney is just failing again, and because they don't understand Star Wars, making, and it could have been so much fun, because like I think they're gonna have like themed events, like the ship might come under attack at some point, and you could have the TV screens that are windows look like the ship's coming in. It could have been heaps of fun, but man, only the insanely not insanely rich, but you would have to have a lot of money to just blow on something like this.
Shad, maybe this might need to be cut depending on the thing. When you do your fantasy medieval roleplay area and hotel and bed and breakfast, you're going to avoid all of this. Will you?
I don't know. I won't be charging insane amounts if I can set something like that up. And that's very long term, people. But,
very long term.
Yeah, don't. I've got plans.
But if you support us, we can make it reality.
By the way, yes, your support. Right now you can support us on Subscribestar, Patreon. Subscribestar is the better one.
Or just send us
Patreon's probably going to kick us out at some point.
Yeah, you could send us just a bunch of Bitcoin. We'd really like that. Don't bother sending us like $100. Just send us 5 Bitcoin.
Hey, I wouldn't say no.
Just send us a bunch of...
That's basically saying, send us a couple $1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Elon Musk, don't you want to see what this guy can do with a theme park? Come on, bud. We know you're watching this. All right. Elon Musk, comment down below your bank details. Thank you.
We are fans.
We are fans of Elon. Do you know what he said? Do you know what he said the other day? He said, people need to have more children, otherwise society's going to collapse.
Based.
Love that guy.
I got 5. I'm doing my part.
He's doing his part.
I'm doing my part to save Western civilization.
Would you like to know more? All right.
We want you to...
All right. So, a bunch of game trailers came out. I'll talk about the one that I saw first, then you can talk about yours.
okay.
All right. Space Marine 2 trailer. Looks okay. I don't like it because they're making Space Marines look like God of War. They shouldn't be like that. They're meant to be surgically precise. They're ninja tanks. They're not meant to be like... I mean, they kind of are. They can't... Anyway. Just the Astartes one was peak Space Marine. Just do that. But we won't get that, so... Anyway, yeah. Game trailers. Nathan?
So the Game Awards happened over the weekend.
Oh.
And we got a lot of game trailers. But then I'm going to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, is that why? Because I saw one for a new Star Wars Eclipse.
Yeah, we'll get
what is
into...
what is this?
This is what the game is.
It's like guys hitting drums. This tribal planet, they're like Star Wars.
Okay, let me tell you all the games that were announced. So we got a Dune.
It's Beat Saber.
It makes sense. We've got a Dune real-time strategy game.
Dune or Doom?
Dune. But that's the thing. You know, my introduction to Dune was the old school real-time strategy game.
Oh.
Like there was an old. It was like, well, I think it was made by the people who eventually made Red Alert. Was it a Westwood game? This is going back in the day.
Yeah.
I love that.
Red
and the thing
Alert.
is, what annoyed me, I didn't know that Harkonnens, I called them Harkonians, because spelling it out phonetically,
Harkonians
were the
are
best
great.
because they were the toughest people in that game, and so I always wanted to be Harkonians, and when I eventually did watch the movie, I was like, oh, but they're the bad guys?
Well, they... Someone came along and took her job, you know? You don't take someone's job.
He likes to have baths and black
Oh,
sludge.
yeah, true. Oh, well, I mean, who doesn't?
Anyways, other games we got the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which looks amazing. Same guys.
I saw one of the early trailers of that.
But I thought Zack Snyder already killed the Justice League.
He's doing it again.
Nice.
He's doing it again.
The Rocksteady's great, though. This will be a good game.
It's good. Yeah, the guy who made Silent Hill is coming up with a new game that looks terrifying. The monsters.
Kojima?
No. The original creator of Silent Hill. The monsters look real creepy because instead of like turning into something weird, they're
Is it called Loud Hill or Silent House?
Soft Hill.
No.
Soft Hill? Soft
No.
Hill.
It's called Loud Hole.
Loud Hole?
Well, it sounds like a feminist. I disavow me.
Anyway, it's a creepy game because the monsters, they get all disjointed and you see all the bones and the skeleton. Like it's a very
Like Dead
off-putting.
Space?
Gosh.
Like Dead Space?
Yeah, kind of like Dead Space.
Dead Space is scary.
But for normal people, like they get disjointed with. Let me just get through some other. Oh, we got a Lord of the Rings Golem game
It
coming
looks
out.
weird. That's what you said.
It looks very. Do you remember that stop motion like Rudolph movie?
So, look, hang on.
Okay.
If the game is not called My Precious, I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, no, it's called Lord of the Rings Golem. I know, Shad, they didn't take it. But it looks very weird. There wasn't any gameplay there. It's just-
Sounds weird. It's like, what is... You're going to crawl around caves and hunt fish.
Yeah, that was the trailer. You're not wrong.
What?
It's an RPG survival game, Shad. You just sit in a cave and hunt fish.
Feels like we got to milk it for everyone. Can we? But shit, what's so baffling? This isn't like you don't have other options and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You have so many options with Lord of the Rings and they picked that.
Like, you could even play as an orc and that'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You could have more success of making a dating sim game with the elves than
Dude, that's $1 billion visual novel right there. I hear Elf Maiden, and you know, I'll pick up the Sword of Lindil right then, man. Wait, no, that's more like Sting, if anything.
And there's also...
Got any of those shiny new daggers? Sorry.
Okay, there's a Wonder Woman game coming out.
Wonder Woman.
Okay, I saw some of the... It wasn't really a trailer, it was just like, this is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we're making it. And the guys that did the Shadow of Mordor games are making that one.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Okay.
Now, Shad, now you can, you'll be forced to play as a woman in a video game. I mean, you do it every other time anyway.
I won't complain.
You won't complain.
I mean, I'd much rather watch an attractive woman than a sweaty man bum.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I insert myself into the man... sorry, wait, let me check.
Yeah, you imagine yourself inserting yourself into the men.
I personify myself.
Sorry,
as
you just slipped up on that one.
Yeah,
or
my
slipped
bad.
in.
Now he's doing it. You're getting bold there, Nathan.
You fail each time you try and shade me because I prefer watching a female protagonist in a video game.
Shad, when I'm seeing that guy's cheeks jiggle around as he runs, I imagine they're my cheeks. My jiggly cheeks. But a lot fitter.
You heard it from here. Oz likes seeing sweaty man jiggly cheeks.
No, but seriously, when I'm going into a gym and like I go into the change rooms, I don't want to see some guy's beautiful ass just glistening there. Like it's like... It's a Norm Macdonald bit. You ever hear that? It's like, I'm going to the gym. It's like, I don't want to see some guy's beautiful cock and asshole staring at me. It's like, just like bent over there. Like I'm just staring. I'm like, dude, get that beautiful ass out of my face. He was ultra conservative Christian. That guy is so funny. Anyway, probably cut that part.
Yeah.
I like to make the characters. You dribble it like you just. Are you just
I'm
getting
just
more and
gonna
more
open this up
retarded?
I'm impersonating a drummer.
Yeah, it drips out of the. Yeah, it's not a proper seal, and so.
Lend me one of your children's sippy cups, okay? I'll happily just dunk it in.
Yeah, I also like, if I can, I try and make the protagonist character I'm playing look like, my wife.
Well, yeah, I just prefer to pretend that I'm the character. I don't have problems with my masculinity at all.
What's your preference?
So yeah, Wonder Woman, was there anything else?
Well, those are all the game... also Sonic 2, the movie trailer.
Okay.
Yes!
Which...
That's going to be
It's
good.
just everything in the first one, but they've added more
Tails.
things in. Yeah, and Knuckles.
But dude,
Knuckles.
you're skipping, like, there was several hundred trailers that came
is
out.
there Dark Sonic?
I don't think probably in the third
Oh,
one.
again with the race changing, man.
I reckon they'll bring that in for
They
the
didn't
third
change
one.
it, they just introduced a new character, had dark
But
fur.
here's the weird thing, right? Why is it that Dark Sonic is so much faster than regular Sonic?
His spikes seem to be bigger too, I don't know why.
And he has a gun. Sonic doesn't.
Is it registered? Oh.
Yeah, you were saying there's heaps more trailers?
Yeah, dude, there was hundreds more trailers that came out over the weekend. All of them for the new Spider-Man movie. Yeah.
Oh, for none of the Game Awards. But no, the big issue with Game Awards that people had was that there wasn't many games. Most of it was...
Sponsored by Raid Shadow
yeah,
Legends.
Raid Challenge. We have a menu log here, but it's called something else over there. And if you use an order code, you get a pizza emote in a Final Fantasy MMO.
Really?
Yep.
Pizza emote in a Final Fantasy!
And, I don't know, just...
Doesn't work.
I Final Fantasy...
I'm trying to help.
I know,
Okay.
I'm glad you maybe, I don't know, for Dota or something. I don't know.
Dota! That's not bad. I can't fake real enthusiasm. I can be a dry douchebag, but I can't do enthusiasm. Anyway.
And the awards were definitely rigged, because the player's choice of the game of the year was Halo Infinite, which had come out the day before. But
What did it beat? What did it beat? Beat Valheim?
I don't think Valheim was even in it. It's not
Valheim should have been. That should have got Game of the Year.
It's not AAA.
That's
So,
ridiculous.
alright, what's been a good AAA game?
That's a good question. What? Yeah, Ghosts of Tsushima?
That was last year.
Oh, last year,
That's
okay.
it's been a while since Ghost of Tsushima.
But Valheim did come out this year. That should have won it, because that was an incredible game. It was like better Minecraft. No, seriously, it was.
But no, okay. It Takes Two won Game of the Year, which is this... It's a good game. It's
Okay,
a co-op multiplayer game. But the funny thing is that the speech was 10 seconds long. But then they showed ads that were nearly 10 minutes long for stuff.
Yeah.
So the actual award ceremony was trash.
I mean, in my sponsorships, they can be a bit longer than average,
Yeah.
but at least I try and make the other content of the video far longer than the ad.
Yeah.
get this, Shad. And he showed
And
me.
I'm not just trying to fill it for the sake of filling. I'm trying to make,
You actually...
trying to make good content for the rest of the time.
No.
He showed me this, and I just died inside when he showed me it. They get Jeff Goldblum to do a Raid Shadow Legends ad.
No.
Seriously.
I mean, the guy didn't have a soul to begin with, so I can't really sell it to, Raid. But
You'd think walking around without a soul, you'd die.
I mean,
but
just
no.
listen to how he talks. I'm
joke.
Jeff Goldblum.
Can I make my-
Go.
You'd think that him walking around without a soul, he'd die, right? But no, life finds a way.
Just finds a way.
Anyway, there you go. Go on your thing.
I can't. If you watch Jeff Goldblum, he does weird things with his hands. I don't know why.
Why does he do it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I hope I'm not making fun of some well-known disability that I wasn't aware of.
Maybe he's got like what's that disease? Parkinson's. Yeah. Say what you will about people with Parkinson's, right? They make great milkshakes. Just don't ask them to hand you a can of Pepsi. I wouldn't hand over my baby to them either. Oh man. If you do have Parkinson's out there, I just want to say thank you for typing in Night's Watch. It must have been very difficult.
We disavow. Look, you need to laugh at life. People.
Yeah.
That's the point. Of course, we care about people who suffer from any type of disability.
Absolutely.
I mean, we laugh at Oz all the time. So.
And I suffer from, being me. They suffer from me.
From dealing with him.
Yeah. All right. I had a few good ones there, didn't I? Yeah. All right.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you do need to learn to laugh at life. And if anyone accuses us of not caring about disabled people, I literally have done volunteer work for an Alzheimer's unit, and it's tragic what happens to these individuals. And so, of course, our heart bleeds for them. But still, sometimes life, way to get through it is to just laugh at the darkness.
So you don't like my Alzheimer's joke? You don't laugh at that, yet all of my cancer jokes really grew on you. That's awful. Okay, we're going to cut that.
Like, Oz, all your jokes are smart, it's just the delivery.
The delivery, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's all it is.
So that's all the news that I've got written down. Yeah, Nathan, you still haven't finished watching the extra 3 episodes.
Of Arcane? No, I
you go?
haven't.
I need to watch the next 3 episodes of Arcane too.
Rewatch.
Rewatch.
I watched the rest of the 6 episodes last night and then went back and watched 2 again. It's so good!
Thank goodness we have Arcane, eh?
Yeah.
I actually, look, I have appreciated Arcane so much, I kind of want to get a statue. Like a statue of particularly Vander and Vi, because their relationship, I think, is so important, and it's something really wholesome and beautiful. And I would love to have that, just standing there to represent what. Like, that's when it goes beyond, like, just liking a show. There is an underlining message and theme there that is so good and wholesome. I would love to be reminded of it by seeing, and so I'm tempted to, I don't know, find room
I
on
want
the shelf.
Jace's hammer. I want that big old hammer.
You do love big hammers.
Yeah.
This has been Nightly News. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next watch.